Hello everyone, this is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald bringing you a reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for love for the week of July 6th through July 13th, 2022. As always, I am using the Light Seers Tarot for this reading, and there's some beautiful artwork on that. And so stepping into your energy, Aquarius, this is definitely a little bit more of a difficult energy probably that you're working through at this time. And I think that there's a lot going on for you both on a personal level and also within a relationship dynamic, right? I don't feel like there's a lot of drama. I just feel like there's a lot of things happening and it's causing a lot of stress for you. Now, the cards, of course, that came out for you, we have the Death and Rebirth. Now, this is intense. You can look at it. You can see this is like really opening up to all of the magic inside you, really going maybe perhaps through some sort of an awakening, maybe going through some sort of a dark night of the soul, really confronting some of that shadow within you, opening up to create space for more light. And that's really what this Death and Rebirth card means. And so showing up, that's you on a personal level. That's your energy as you're working through some of this, okay? Feeling, of course, overwhelmed by it all with the Ten of Wands, right? Feeling like you're that ox or bull kind of carrying everything on your shoulders, right? And really what Spirit says with this card is that this is an arduous path, right? This is a difficult path, right? It's a difficult time for you. This is tiring, right? You could be working through some sort of a financial hardship. You could feel as though you are feeling left out, of course. And there's a lot of worry around it, right? And there's perhaps some confusion coming in with this Seven of Cups. You can see the Seven of Cups brings in lots of choices. And, you know, with that, there is a saying here, Spirit's bringing in, is that there's always a choice, right? You always have a choice. And there's always free will involved in all of this. Understanding that you have everything within you to accomplish what it is you desire. There will be a choice that you'll need to make, whether you take that step forward or you retreat to a comfort zone. That's entirely up to you, right? But there is always risk with the reward, right? There's always sacrifice with that reward. And that's where this Five of Pentacles kind of comes in, of that maybe feeling left out, so to speak, right? And you can see I'm very drawn to that key in that corner. Does that key open that door? I feel like that key opens many doors, more than one door. I feel like, you know, Spirit's saying with this, even like empty your pocket, right? And I feel as though you're like reaching in your pocket and you're saying, no, I don't have anything in my pocket. My pocket's empty. I've given all that I can give. But they're saying, do it again. Dig deep, right? It's not necessarily about what you have, right? It's about what's within you. Cultivating, right, your own source of strength. Cultivating what you need to get you through this. So this is an emotional thing that you're going through. This is a spiritual experience that you're going through, right? This isn't really necessarily about the material things or where you're at or who's around you. This is about you understanding that you have exactly what it takes to get you to where you want to be. The key is right there. I feel as though you're not seeing that, okay? And so that's what is coming in with that Five of Pentacles, okay? So the phrase comes in, everything and nothing all at once, okay? So you could feel like you have everything that you've ever wanted, yet nothing all at once, right? Nothing exists more than something else, right? We could always feel like the grass is greener on the other side when it's just as green where you water it. You could feel as though you've finally gotten to a space where you have everything that you've wanted in terms of a great relationship, you know, beautiful place to live, have all of the things, like your ducks in a row, so to speak, except now you have this thing that you're dealing with where you just feel like you're not where you want to be in terms of having the career or having the money to bring to the table, right? But I think that, again, that's really like attesting to the fact that you do have everything, right? Defining something as nothing is still defining it. And so it's about cultivating that gratitude and joy within, and really understanding, again, you always have that choice. So staying where you are requires sacrifice just as much as putting in the sacrifice that it takes to actually make that change, right? And so there's good and bad with everything. There's pros and cons to everything. And you are not who you used to be. Okay, so I feel as though you could have been somebody who used to have their head in the clouds, so to speak. And I don't mean that in any sort of demeaning or demoralizing way, okay? I feel that this is something that has actually come through, from spirit, that exact phrase, head in the clouds. So you maybe used to operate on a level in life that you had this daydream of everything is going to always work out, and you always tried to make the best decisions for yourself. You kind of detached from the outcome. Things kind of worked out for you. Maybe you were a little bit more absent-minded. You really weren't attached to that outcome, right? I feel like now you're in a space where you're really attached to an outcome. You really want it to work out for yourself. But also, you're a little bit more practical, right? You're a little bit more level-headed. You're a little bit more down-to-earth, right? You're not who you used to be. And so that's growth, right? You've had some growth with that. I do feel that there are people around you that are really maybe saying things to you, like where this sacrifice or these sacrifices that you're making to others, they would say that this is ill-advised. This is not something that they would sacrifice. They would say that your sacrifices are not being met with the same sacrifices within your relationship. And so they would say that that's not very wise of you to do, or that's unfair, right? They might be saying some things like that. And so it kind of puts fear in you, right? It puts fear in you. It instills doubts within you. Understand, though, that this is your path, right? You define your path. You create your path. And there is this leveling up that's available for you on the other side of that. And when I talk about leveling up, that's like this spiritual growth, this emotional growth, this mental growth, right? Because you're confronting that shadow part of yourself through all of this. Now, I feel like on the other side of things, after you make that sacrifice or make some more sacrifices, you will get to a space where those people that are instilling those doubts in you are going to be the same people that are going to be patting you on the back, super proud of you. And I'm getting big chills with that. So that's definitely a validation for someone's message, saying, gosh, I really didn't even know that you had it in you. And so this is a validation for you to understand here that you are magic. You are magic. In fact, if you start to push yourself beyond your comfort zone and maybe even beyond limits that you've ever even pushed yourself beyond, right? Maybe take yourself to a level that you've never even gone before, you might even surprise yourself at what you're capable of and what you can achieve. And what you can achieve when you put your mind to it, right? When you make that decision and put some extra willpower into that and intention into that. And, I feel like Spirit will come in and show up for you in a big way. So, I feel like the outcome for that, I just wanted to clarify what that would be, because I was just like, gosh, what will that be? What will that outcome look like if this person pushes himself past their limits? If they push into this space of what they're wanting to achieve. And this Strength card comes out, right? You can see the lion there, tapping into that strength. There's a lamb and there's a lion, and there's a choice to be made. Are you going to stay the lamb, or are you going to be courageous and take that leap of faith and push yourself to roar, to really roar? And I feel like that can be heard through the whole kingdom, right? And so that's amazing. And then the wheel comes up with us. This is like a turning of the tides, right? And so like this person, see the dice, I don't know if you can see it, but this person has like, you know those dice you hang on your mirror in the car? That's like hanging on this person's neck up there. And so it's like, you know, rolling the dice, taking a chance, betting on yourself, and really, really coming out on top, like she is in this card. And so there is this like karmic tie to it, where there is a twist of fate. Now, typically when you know, we say twist of fate, we could see that as an unfortunate event. Well, when we see this here, I'm feeling like this twist of fate is more like something from the past coming back, but you're going to be on the opposite end of it, right? So let's say in the past, your teacher was really not nice to you, and maybe had this moment where she yelled at you in front of everybody, and it really humiliated you, and it's sticking with you until today, right? You remember that moment, right? Well, now this might be a moment where that same teacher that you had comes up to you, and say you're like a cashier at a checkout at a grocery store or something. This person comes through your line, and you are now in a position where this person needs your help, or right, you are waiting on this person. And I feel like it's going to be on the opposite end of the spectrum, where like everything is an equal and opposite reaction. However, you're mindful because you know that you don't want to create any bad karma for yourself. It goes very eloquently, right? And it leaves a better imprint in the energy for you to remember that by, right? And so, but there's a different dynamic there. Or perhaps maybe you feel called to have a conversation with this person about, you know, how that made you feel or whatever, right? But that was just a like totally random example that I just tried to come up with on a whim. But that's, you know, where there's something coming back from the past where you're going to be in the opposite of a situation. And so, you know, I feel as though that's that twist of fate. And again, applying that to the situation that you're in and overcoming some of these difficulties, that's part of confronting that shadow self. That's part of that growth. That's part of pushing beyond your comfort zone. That's part of speaking your truth and being who you are and who you need to be in order to, you know, level up in that big way, right? And to be the person that you need to be for this new role as you level up. Maybe you're going to be taking on a lot more responsibility in new tasks and things like that, right? And so, you know, you need to be that fair person, like this justice kind of card, I just feel with it, right? Like that fair and balanced person. Say you're in a supervisor role, right? You need to be that person. And so you wouldn't take advantage of anybody because you're in an authoritative position. Likewise, this person might have just had a bad day and doesn't even remember maybe that this happened, but it might have hurt your feelings. And so just owning that, right? But creating new momentum going forward. Creating space as you confront that, healing that, creating space for new energy, because that's what you need going forward, right? So what is your love interests? You know, what does that look like? What does your love interests energy look like? Well, Ace of Cups, loving this energy, right? Lots of overflow of love and emotion, right? And then the King of Wands, right? So I feel like this person that you are in a relationship with or that you are interested in has a mastery right, about them, where they are really able to weather emotional turmoil. Like they are able to go with the flow, with the changing of the tides, and they have this outpouring of emotion and passion regardless, right? And I'm really drawn to this lizard on this person's shirt. Okay, so on this card, like a spirit animal of a lizard, like this person could be your light, your sun, right? This light of your life, right? This is the person who lights you up, right? This person is a bright spot in your life. It's a source of your strength and your balance, your rejuvenation. You go to them with anything that you need, right? So this is like a renewal energy that you come to, and they help to fill your cup with their emotion. And you feel more fulfilled with them in your life. And so, I feel like this person relies on you, though, to be steady. You see this King of Wands. There's some fiery energy there. You see the lion in the back. And again, there is confidence and courage there. But they also rely on you to be a steady in their life, a steady person in their life, a constant and consistent person in their life, to know what reaction they're going to get from you when certain situations transpire, and to know that there will be no overreaction, to know that it's okay for them to be their self, their full self with you, right? Now I feel too, again, the ox comes back up, right? And in the beginning, remember, you had on one of your cards, the ox, right? You're feeling like overburdened, like, gosh, I'm making so many sacrifices. Well, this person too is making sacrifices, and you can see this is a bit of a different sacrifice, right? They're making different sacrifices, right? This person has a goal that they're trying to achieve, and no matter how long it takes, they're going to achieve that goal. This is going to require them to be bold, to take actions, right? I feel a little bit more to like this is completely divinely led, right? Like this is in honor of their ancestors that have come before them. They're staying the course, and it doesn't always pay off in a material way. It's more of an emotional fulfillment for them to continue to do that. And, I feel like there will be many, many rewards to come in the end, but it is about right now for them to stay the course, and for them to have you to help them to stay the course. And so this is really important. Outcome overall, 6 of Wands. Victory. See? Victorious. And so what I hear with this, it's a lyrics to a song, and it's Donnie McClure, Victorious. So I feel like this is part of the destiny of the two of you, is to come out on top, right? Just like that wheel, to come out on top, to really handle the business and to make things happen. And with this, I'm seeing, again, see how this person in the card, the hands are going up to God, to the light, right? And to the universe, whatever you call your spirit support. This is, there's many white hands also in the background, right? There's many, many things that are being turned up to the light or surrendered to the light. Many problems, many issues, many things, right? And so I feel like you might feel like, gosh, this is so exhausting. I feel depleted. I feel like I'm in my last inning and I just want to give up. But in that, if you were to take the time to just hand it all over to Spirit, to give it all to God, you really will come out in a much better position than if you were to try to just handle things on your own, right? Now, again, bottom of the deck, Ace of Swords, and with this I'm really feeling, you can see the stairs, how they wind, and they like kind of wind up in this person's mind. the mind is a battlefield, right? And so with that, there could be negative thoughts weighing you down, negative emotions come from those negative thoughts and create this vicious cycle. And so there is peace with God's protection as you hand that over, as you surrender that, right? And there's Bible verses to support that. And so I just felt called to mention that. And so with that, we really renew our mind, so to speak, as we do that. And so you could even, if you feel called to use a crystal to help you, a turquoise would be very helpful. It's funny because she's got the turquoise on her skirt. But the turquoise can really help to cleanse our body, mind, spirit of negative energies, and then also help to renew our positive mindset. And so, beautiful reading here, but everything will work out in the end, and everything will lead to victory. And so I think that you'll be surprised with just how great things do work out. So wonderful read here for you, Aquarius. I do so hope that this resonates for you. As always, if you're interested in your own personal reading, I'd love to be able to do that for you. You can hit me up on the messenger on Facebook, or if you're interested, you can just go ahead and book right through the Square site, which is pinned in the description box below here on YouTube, or at the top of the page if you're finding me on the Facebook. As always, I'll be back with another read for you guys again soon. Until then, be kind to one another. Take care.